Ready to go. So Faith, take it away. Handling objections.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Beth. Okay, so I decided that for tonight in our handling objections, and we're talking about sharing the opportunity. So these are objections to that people might bring up when you're doing a sharing appointment. Okay, there are also objections maybe that people bring up if you want to have them try the product, and some of these objections overlap. Right. So if you do have any questions, please let me know. But I would love, first of all, for you guys to post in the chat when you have tried sharing the opportunity, or you think about objections, or maybe you think back about when you were debating becoming a Mary Kay consultant. What are some objections you can think of? Because I want to make sure that I'm hitting everything you guys want to know. I will be asking for some volunteers so that we can maybe role play just a little bit. So we'll see how this goes, but go ahead, and I'm going to give you time to chat. Okay. Wonderful. All right. I gotta make sure I can see the chat. There we go. Okay. Awesome. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 that of my most common. Okay. Yes. Awesome. Okay. So I only see one is not on my top 5 for the opportunity, but it is on my objections for trying a product, and they can often be the same, like I said. So excellent. Some of the major players then, for those of you who are not able to view the chat, number 1, time. I don't have enough time. I'm too busy in my life. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, money. I don't have any money to start a business, or I don't understand the whole idea of spending money to earn money sort of thing. Okay, that's second. Third, and these are not in particular, these are not like in hierarchy order. I'm just saying in my own mind. Third, I don't have enough friends. Like, I don't even know who I would sell to. These are all, by the way, echoed in the chat. Number 4, I'm not salesy. Like, ugh. Sales, ugh, right? Okay, and then 5 for mine, and I did not see this in the chat, is I'm an introvert. Faith, you're an extreme extrovert. Like, I couldn't do what you do. Okay, now perhaps if you're an introvert, you don't hear that one. This girl hears it all the time. Okay, so one that girl. That is one that I've heard before. Didn't make my top 5, but I'm not a good person. Okay. Awesome. All right, you guys. I'm going to start by explaining 2 categories of questions. Okay. Actually, there's 3. I'm just going to say 3 categories of questions. Number 1, categories of questions that come from a place of fear. These are questions or objections people have because they're afraid. They're nervous about they could flip off. Those questions are from fear. So some questions are from fear. Okay. Some questions are simply from not having enough information. Okay. Some questions that come are because they may not have heard enough yet to give an answer to the opportunity.
Hey, Faith, you are like, I can't hear you. It's like going kind of in and out, and then the last sentence, is it just me?
No, I saw someone go like this, and I was like, "Ooh, what's going on?" Okay, I had a paper resting. I've moved it. Okay. Hopefully that will be okay. If it keeps happening, let me know. And I apologize about that. Okay, so questions that stem from fear. fears they have about a business. Second, objections they have because they don't know enough about the business to be able to make a decision based on the actual facts. And then third are objections that come from a place that maybe mean they shouldn't do Mary Kay. Not, this business is not for everyone. It's for the vast majority of people. Okay. So those are three things I want to handle. First of all, what is behind someone's question. Okay. Number one, if they are a person, is this not for them? Okay. Now they, number one, may not want to do this. It just might not sound fun for them. It might just be like, oh, I would no. You'll be able to tell that pretty quickly. What we can do with those people is thank them for sharing and invite them to connect us with people that they're like, you know what? It's not for me, but it might be for my friend Susie. Like, that sounds like something she'd really enjoy. I just don't think I'd like doing it. If someone's not going to like doing this business, number one, they might not be right for Mary Kay. Or number two, they might need to come to a party if they've not been to a party and actually experience a little bit more for them. I have found exactly two people who are not, who Mary Kay is not a good fit for. Number one, will not name names. I have a friend who does not like people. Okay. For some reason, she likes me, and I feel like I'm very people-y, but she doesn't like people. If you are not someone who enjoys people, getting to know them, getting to hear their stories, that sort of a thing, this may not be a business that you'll be very good at unless you can learn to change that about you. Okay. So my girlfriend, we'll just call her Susie. Susie should probably not do Mary Kay. She's not very kind to people. She has no patience for people. She's just sort of not nice. I'm going to love her no matter what. And she's kind to me, but she does not like the vast majority of people. Probably not a good fit. Okay. Unless that changes. So a little personality quirk there, maybe not a good fit. Number two, people who are unwilling to learn anything. People who are just always know better and never will take advice, never will. This is log for them because zero people come into Mary Kay with all the skills needed to be possessed in order to do this business well. Okay. So if they're not willing to learn, now some people push back against learning a little bit more, need to do it their own way, muck around it in a bit, but eventually will learn. I mean, that's fine. But if they are unwilling to learn a new skill, it just might not be for them. And then there's actually a third category of person who would be very bad at this gig, who I personally would not want on my team. And that is someone who is just simply not ethical. Someone who will cut every corner and do whatever it takes in order to succeed for themselves. That, don't even worry. It's not worth the $5 extra you could get in Mary Kay cash as your incentive from us to try to share this opportunity with them. We want people who are going to be legal, moral, and ethical. Okay. One, care about being a decent human. Number two, you got to like people, or at least be willing to enjoy them for a period of time. And three, you have to be willing to learn a new skill. Okay. The vast majority of people are all three of those things. They're willing to learn new things, or actually kind of would enjoy it. They just need to have their mind open to the fact that that's a thing in Mary Kay. 100% of people have to learn something in order to come in. Okay. So knowing that, then we can handle people's objections appropriately. Okay. Excellent. So number one, time. Raise your hand, and I'm going to see if I can see everybody. Raise your hand if you've heard someone say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I don't even know how I would fit that in." Okay. Would someone like to play the part of, to like play devil's advocate with me and be the person who does not have enough time? Okay. Amy, go ahead and unmute. And can you, Beth, can you feature Amy as well? Perfect. Thank you. She's already on the ball. That's our fearless leader. Let me tell you, there's a reason she's at the top. Okay. Amy. Okay. Now, please know, we don't launch into this question, but last week's training was already about the interview. So if you're handling objections, that's great. But if you haven't gotten to a point with someone where you know what their life's about, like what they're doing with their time, what their hopes and dreams are, go back and watch the training on sharing the opportunity first. Okay. This is what comes when you've shared the opportunity, because we've learned about them. We understand their life a little bit. So we're going to assume a backstory with Amy. Okay. And then we're going to keep going with the objections there. Amy, she has a full-time job. I'm just going to go with you as you are, that she is a busy mom, and that she has dreams to do things with her children that are currently not in the cards. Okay. Apart from additional income would not be in the cards. Okay. All right. So Amy, what do you think about this Mary Kay thing? How about we just give it a shot?
I don't know. I mean, with teaching, this is report card season. It's parent teacher conference season. It's softball season. It's soccer season.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I barely even have time to sleep and eat and take a shower. I have no idea how I'm going to make this work.
I absolutely feel for you too. I spend so much time on a bleacher that I actually have to go to a chiropractor. So yes, I agree. We're carting kids all over the place. And what if I told you that actually was an asset to a business, and that was the time that you needed in order to do this? Because for someone who's on the go, what that means is you're interacting very naturally with a lot of people. Okay. So you're in the bleachers next to other moms, other people with skin. You are talking about sweaty kids who are going to need to wash their faces. What I found in Mary Kay is I take it with me on the go. I have little pamper packs that I can offer moms, busy moms who are totally crazed and need some pampering in the seats, nurses when I go to my kids' doctor's appointments, other people like teachers at my kids' school, who not only need to wash their face, but also might use an opportunity like this that they can work on the go when they are in a particularly busy season. And then more when they have their breaks over summer, over holidays, that sort of thing. They maybe be like, okay, now I can ramp some things up. What is there are ways to work Mary Kay business in small pockets of time, 15-minute pockets of time, to reach out to a couple, to send a little paper pack in the mail. There's a lot you can do with this very small amount of time. So let me ask you, how well are you having on? Maybe not in report card season. Maybe that's a season, since you're a business owner, that you're like, I don't work this week, right? Because we can do that in a Mary Kay business. We decide when we work on a regular basis, not in summer where you might have more time, and not in the spring season, but on a regular basis. If you were to do something like this, how much time do you think you could give to it?
Maybe probably about 2 hours a week, I would say.
2 hours is actually a really good amount of time to start a business. I think it's a really great time. 1 hour a week we spend in a Mary Kay meeting where we receive training, encouragement, rewards, and incentives to kind of keep us going throughout the week. So 1 hour a week we spend doing some training. And then 1 hour a week is a great amount of time. You could actually hold 2 live Facebook parties, like little presentations in your Facebook parties back to back in one night for an hour. Other than that, little 15-minute pockets of time is really all it would take in order to get a business. Does that sound like you can 15 minutes here, like in a grocery store line, or, on potty or something like that as you go? I can't tell you the amount of Facebook messages that have come from me. Like, I don't tell people where I am. The commode is usually, I can reply to a bunch of people. But I also enjoy that. So it's not a weird thing. It's not forced for me. But does that sound like, one meeting night and one party night? Does that sound like, and then you can close your computer and go deal with whatever you need to do and take some 15-minute pockets the next day to close out sales. Does that sound like
It
oodles of
sounds
time?
it sounds doable. My only other concern is I'm shy, so I don't know a lot of people. So like the Facebook party thing sounds interesting, but I don't
Okay,
know.
so I asked you a question just for clarity for my own ears. You said two things. You said you're shy and you don't know a lot of people. Those are two different things. With the amount of places you go, am I right in saying I think you actually do know a lot of people, but you're shy to reach out to them?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
It takes me, I'm a wallflower.
Mm.
So when in a new place around new people, then
Yeah.
I sit and observe for hours upon hours before I
Yeah.
actually open my mouth and say anything. So,
Yeah. Well, I have two thoughts on that. Number one, as an extreme extrovert, sometimes I have to actually pull myself back and try to channel my introverted friends in order to be good at my business, because I'm very chatty and I can often steal the spotlight. And when we're working with people, we want to make them feel special. It's not supposed to be about us. It's supposed to be about them. So I sometimes have to fight my extroverted instincts in order to actually be good at what I do. So as an introvert, do you notice a lot of things?
mhm,
As a listener?
yes.
Yeah, probably better listener than talker.
Mhm.
Yeah, that actually makes for someone who makes other people feel valued, heard, and special. So please note, number one, being an introvert is an actual asset in business and especially in sales. And second, though, I can understand how it might feel a little like to actually like verbalize and offer someone a pamper pack, that sort of thing. Can I ask you, Amy, have you ever noticed being introverted as maybe having you miss opportunities that you would have liked to have done?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you like that about yourself?
No.
Okay. Would you, realizing that being an introvert is an actual asset for your business, would you maybe be willing to step out of your comfort zone to maybe try to improve that shyness quality, get out of your shell just a little bit more? This could be like practice ground for you, where you were able to learn that through this. That way you could do it in other areas of life. Do you think that would be beneficial for you?
I do. I can see myself stretching a little bit. I've decorated my comfort zone. It's quite cozy, but we need to stretch it a little bit. So, yes, I would be willing to
Yeah,
stretch out just a frog's
a
hair.
little bit. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, is this is your business and you can work it the way you want. There are actually a lot of very successful introverts or shy people in Mary Kay. They make excellent consultants and very good coaches. So I actually have some very introverted, successful friends. I could introduce you if you're interested in talking with them. But it sounds to me like the shyness is something that Mary Kay actually might be really good to give a whirl.
I'll give it a try. You said it was only $20, right?
$20 this month. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, we'll give it a
For
try.
$20, would you be willing to try?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Thank you, Amy, so much for role playing with us. So we actually did a couple of things. Now, the aspect, what people realize, there are a couple things here. Number one, if it is doable, maybe a little bit more challenging to do something major in this, like make a ton of money if you're only working 2 to 3 hours a week, right? We don't want to give people the false impression that you don't have to do much and still you can earn a car. I'm proof that earning a car is an investment in time. I actually did have to take some things off of my plate, which early in my career in Mary Kay, I wouldn't have wanted to do. I wouldn't have wanted to stop volunteering. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I could do all this volunteering. After years of doing that, with doing Mary Kay a little bit on the side, I was ready to let some other new mamas check the books out in the library and like wipe all the tables down in the lunchroom. My kids had loved me doing that. And it's not something they really value anymore. And it's not something that continues to, I mean, I'll do it, but so my life changed a bit and my priorities changed. So I could give more to Mary Kay. One thing people that I really find helpful with this objection over time is, number one, for them to realize there's a lot they can do when it comes to training on their own time, not with anybody else at whatever. On my commute is when I listen to trainings a lot. That's how I did a lot of early, like how to run a party and that sort of thing. I was in the car taking kids to school and I play something on the way home. I just set it up, play it, and then listen on the way home. So there's a lot we can do as we go with Mary Kay, and pointing that out is super helpful because this is a whole new world. I don't have to show up. At my last job, I had to show up there before 9 o'clock or I would be in trouble. And I had to stay at least until 6 o'clock or I'd be in trouble. And so I had like this requirement of my time and when I needed to work my hours that was very defined for me. And in Mary Kay, we have the flexibility to be able to put that work wherever we want it. Now we have to be intentional. If you're only going to work a certain amount of time and you still want to grow your business, you have to be intentional about how you're spending that time. And that's why we have directors to coach people into, all right, if you only have 3 hours to give to this, we need to maximize that time. That means you need a meeting and you need some parties or some facials to do. And so how do we use the 15 minutes of time such that we're fueling people at those 2 hours that we have available to them each night? And then how do we get people trying the product and doing things virtually when we physically have no more time to be in their presence? We have things people can plug into for virtual working that is super helpful, like our skincare confident, like our color confident, like our pearls parties, and taking advantage of those opportunities as well. Okay. So time, what we've learned in Mary Kay is the busy people are the people you want to recruit because they know how to juggle their time. They know how to do it. I've always been busy. I have always been busy from sun up to sundown and then some. Last night, I cleaned my house until 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a hard time with the time change. Time change and I do not go well together. My body's like, it's not time for bed. Are you kidding me? It's time to be awake forever. I cleaned my entire first floor until 3 o'clock in the morning. Busy people do a lot of stuff. I paid for it today. I had to take a little nap, but listen, I could because my work is flexible. Haha. All right. So the time and we actually covered the introverted self, the being shy. Okay. How about for the people who say that they do not have a lot of friends? We're not going to role play this one, except that, did you hear Amy drop the fact that she didn't have a lot of friends when she had just told me the 17 million places she was going with crowds? Yes. Sometimes people are not aware that they actually know a lot more people than they think. Okay. I am going to take a second to share a screen. Hopefully this will work. Oh, no, I'm not, because I don't know where to go. I don't know which one it is. So I'm not going to do that. But it is posted for the Rise and Shine unit. I will post it this evening. It is posted under guides in the Soaring Eagles unit page. And it is called Basic Training Prospect Lists. Actually, I think I figured out just now how to share it. So I think I will do that. Basic training. Here it is. Okay. Can you all see that? Large and in charge. It says first 24 hours. This is what we do with people right when they are new. Can everyone see it? Excellent.
Yeah,
who do we sell to? Who do we sell to? It is very helpful when you are at a sharing appointment to have this list. Have this list right there with you. Okay. Because it helps people understand where do we find people. So we find people from careers we've worked in, different jobs, from high school, college. It's super fun to reconnect with people from the past. And this gives us an excuse to do it. All of the activities, especially for those busy moms, all of those activities that they're carting children to throughout. The other moms in the bleachers. I sell a lot of Christmas presents in the bleachers, basketball season. Okay. from your church. Who goes to your church? Do you have a small group Bible study? Okay, so all of these lists at your doctor's office, your drugstore, at the grocery store, the people you're related to, they're friends, like your husband's, your husband or your boyfriend's families, all of your bank teller. My bank teller is my customer. She loves charcoal mask. So all of these people, are potential people that we could facial with. Okay, I'm going to stop the share, come back live. Okay, so for people who say that they don't have many friends, we can go through that list with them. And then also remember, would you like to begin collecting more friends? In this business, we meet people who are fantastic. Last night, I met with someone I did not know before Mary Kay. I did not know her much at all. I spent about a half an hour in her living room. Her daughter was teaching me sign language because she's becoming an interpreter. Her husband was home. He's often deployed. So it was nice to get to see him. And I got to hear all about what they're making for dinner that night. We collect friends through this business, not only in our customers, but in our sister sales consultants. And the longer you're in, and when you start adding to what you do in Mary Kay, a consultant or a car driving consultant or a director, every single rung on this, on your own ladder, you collect friends everywhere. So that actually is something that for someone who doesn't have a lot of friends, would you like to have more? Because that's what we find in Mary Kay. Okay. So we have talked about time. We've talked about friends. We've talked about being introverted. One about being salesy. First of all, that should also be a requirement, not being salesy. Now, some people accidentally sound salesy because they don't know what to do and they feel awkward. So we can work with them on that. But people who are salesy, they don't really succeed as much in Mary Kay because it doesn't come off as genuine to other people. So I always make sure people understand being salesy, not being salesy is actually a huge asset. Okay. And it's not one of those assets that comes with something you have to get over. It is a sheer asset. Okay. 100% asset. Not being salesy means you're not going to creep people out when you're sharing products with them, because salesy people, they rub you the wrong way. So that one's easy to an easy objection to address. You just need to explain to them. It's just, they simply just don't realize that's actually a business asset. And I would say that's across the board, not just in Mary Kay. Okay. Yes. Oh, Tamara brought something up. A stranger is just a friend we haven't met yet. They said that a lot at the Power Summit. That's right. And when we treat people like that, we make people feel special wherever we go. We collect friends everywhere. And I think that actually helps us to not be salesy also, treating people like someone we just want to be friends with. Awesome. Okay. Two last objections we had brought up tonight. Number one is money. Here's the thing, you guys. Right now in our world, ridiculous percentages of people are trying to cut money from their budget and are trying to earn extra money. Okay. That's our reality right now. I would say that reality sort of exists all the time, but especially in a post-pandemic world where financially we're dealing with what we're dealing with right now. Everyone needs to cut their budget and earn some extra funds. Okay. Mary Kay offers people both opportunities. When someone says that money is an issue, we can, number one, would you like to know how to get all of your cosmetics half off or even free all of the time? But by becoming a Mary Kay consultant, you immediately get half off. And if you cultivate a business that generates some income, which we train you very well how to do, then you can actually earn enough so that everything you want is free and then some. So that was one thing that my husband and I had to realize at first when I was making a certain amount of money. He's like, I just thought you would be making a little bit more than this. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't show you all the money from all the cosmetics. I'm like, it was like $1,200 extra dollars that because we have 6 people in our family and everyone uses Mary Kay. And at that time, I think it was maybe like somewhere, $400 to $700. Now it's more upwards of $1,200 a year of Mary Kay products because it's in my shower. It's everywhere, and we get a discount on all of it. All of it. In fact, I earn enough money that we get it for free. So, but he doesn't see that coming in a paycheck. So I just have to remind him. He sees it when we do our taxes. Oh, and look at that extra money I didn't know we were making. Okay. So that all, if you keep the business registry that we learned about at Beth's, during Beth's training on managing your money, the business registry will actually show you that as you go. So you can keep better track of that more than once a year, like if you don't track and you only do it when you do your taxes. So when it comes to money, we can give people the chance to actually earn all their cosmetics for free, and also build in such a way that they can create income, create wealth for themselves to help defray the costs of our just rising budgets. Budgets are going up all over the place. Since the pandemic, since before the pandemic, to have the exact same life, families need, depending on the number of families in their household, need between $400 and $700 a month more. Now, I've heard recently that number going up to more like $1,000, $1,200 more to have the exact same life they did before the pandemic. Okay, that's not improving life. That's to have the same life. Okay, this business can help people overcome those challenges and give them hope for a financial future that is more secure. So now there are realities with that. You can't just come in and it's magically going to sell itself. We work, we sell this, we share the product. 30 faces in 30 days is what we ask people to do at the beginning. If you were on the mastermind call that happened before our meeting tonight, you heard a top trip earning sales director say 30 faces a week. She reaches out to 10 people a day to get 30 faces a week. That is her process for her personal business. It's not that much different from when we start, right? 30 faces in 30 days. Putting product on faces is how we get sales. It's how we find people who love our product and would love to become a consultant. So we need to make sure that's our drumbeat, and they'll watch what we do and see how they can be earning money right from the beginning. Okay. 50% on everything they sell from day one. It is like the fastest turnaround for profit that I ever heard of in a business. Okay. Last and not least, the people who say, I am not a makeup person. Some of my most favorite people I hear from in microphones at Mary Kay events are people who said, I looked at the person who said, would you want to hear about a business opportunity? And looked at them and said, what part of this makes you think that I'd be good at that? They're like, I have no makeup on. I have work boots on. I have galoshes. And they're like wanting to recruit me. I wouldn't even know what to do with makeup. And yet, if they're willing to learn how to put it on, they don't have to wear it all the time. They can be minimalists if they want to and be true to themselves. But if they're willing to learn how, so that way they can teach other people how, anyone can do this business. The biggest tomboy, the biggest minimalist, the biggest girly girl, anyone can do this. Okay. And to be quite frank, I know a lot of people who are like, I'm not a makeup person. I don't know if I could do that. Most of them are related to people who could really use the education from their mom or their sister in Mary Kay, so that they can do it. I have lots of friends who don't wear makeup, but their kids want to. So they come to me because they're like, I don't know how to do this stuff. So it's sometimes nice to be able to be resourced so that you can help other people do that. Okay. So that is something anyone can learn. Any other questions? Any other questions? I think we hit the vast majority. We hit I don't think there was a question that I've actually been asked that we didn't hit tonight. So at least not more than once. So awesome. Thank you so very much, you guys. I encourage you to practice these things and reach out to me or to Beth if you are wondering how to navigate any of these conversations, because ultimately, if they're not someone who should not be a Mary Kay consultant because they are not willing to learn and they do not like people, this opportunity is wonderful. If it is a lack of information, we'll provide the information so they can make a good decision with all the facts. If it's fear, we need to let them know we've all been through that. We've all been through a point of fear. And we have our success meetings, which will fuel them, educate them, excellent training to learn how to do anything, even put on makeup if you've never done it before. And you have business coaches in the directors to help you learn anything you need to learn to be successful at this business. People, I am fully convinced now, people need what we have to offer in Mary Kay. So let's bring it to them so that they can have the opportunity to enjoy it just like we do.
So good, Faith. So good. So good. And it's so fun when if you pretend that these are like learning your multiplication tables, when you just like know the answers in your head, then when you know them and you hear the objection, you can respond in a way that is appropriate, but you're not like, oh, that's right, you're busy. Yeah, you probably couldn't do it. So when you hear those, when you know them in your head, so listen to this multiple times so you get those in your brain, so it's not scary whenever you hear them.
And also let these objections wash over you so that we're not prejudging other people. Oh, she's too busy. Oh, she's not going to have enough money.
Yeah.
Actually, they might just need Mary Kay. So let's not prejudge. Let's just offer to everyone and give them all the information they need to make a wise decision.
That's such a good point. We want to ask ourselves the question, which ones of these have I already decided about people? Which ones have I already decided? And I've had it before when consultants will tell me, oh, well, I'm like, you've already decided. She didn't even get a chance. So yeah, that's so good. So good. All right. Well, awesome. Thank you, Faith. That was excellent, excellent, excellent. I am going to stop that recording.